everybody? Welcome back to the Chillcast. This is episode 9 of the Fatman, or actually, I just looked that up and I just looked at it, guys. Episode 10 of the Fatman and Chill. I am your host, always, the Fatman here at the Fatman Gaming. Down below me is Salem. To my
Hello.
side is Mr. Blue Sky himself. And then underneath him, the tons of fun, the man of the hour, the. Say what's up to the people, guys.
Howdy, howdy.
You guys are probably wondering why I'm rubbing my hands. It's freaking freezing in the studio right now. I need to get a heater in here. Um. Anyways, this is episode 10, and we got a real good one for you right now, guys. We're going to do the usual thing of say hello to the little guy. We're going to do the usual thing of what we've been watching. Then we're going to move into our WWE roundup, and man, it was an exciting one. I myself personally am pumped. I know Z is. The other two, I'm not too sure. I don't know where they lie with the wrestling go to, but and then after that, we'll move into the main topic. As you guys remember, I don't know if we recorded it while we were talking about it, but the main topic for this week was adjust my light. A movie of Blue's choice, and that was Guns Akimbo. And yeah, it was a movie. And then we'll get more into that as we get in there. But like I said, let's get things started with what have you all been watching. So we'll start with Blue. Blue, what have you been watching lately?
Nothing really. Only the Guns Akimbo.
Just Guns Akimbo.
Yeah, that was really it.
Um, actually, how was your? We'll go and we'll talk about this too, guys. How was your Thanksgiving?
Pretty darn good.
It was alright. I stayed up kind of really early to help out, so I
Uh,
was really tired.
you helped cook.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had a bit too much to drink the previous night and found out where my limit is when it comes to the 80 proof stuff. I was knocked out by it pretty much. So poor Blue had to help my bio mom cook.
Nice. Moving on to Salem. Salem, what have you been watching, if anything?
I haven't really been watching anything recently. I've mainly been just playing games. Well, okay, I have been watching stuff recently, but it's YouTube.
Yeah, well that counts.
Well, yeah, I've mainly been watching the channel Daily Driven Exotics, if any of
Gotcha.
our viewers know that channel.
Yeah, actually I do.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a quick question though. This is all of you. Did any of you happen to watch the Boogie 2988 documentary on YouTube?
I forgot.
I forgot to.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I got so hectic.
you
over here.
guys should definitely watch it. It's a watch. See how this guy literally went from the top to where he's at right now, and kind of honestly makes me hope that we get there one day too, but not to the fall where he took, because yeah, his fall was pretty bad. Definitely, even you viewers, definitely recommend you watching it. Forgot the name of it, but just look up Boogie 2988 documentary, and yeah, go give it a look because it's stunning. It's amazing how dark things can turn quick. Moving on. D, what have you been watching lately?
Just my usual, Rick and Morty, wrestling, some anime. I'm gonna actually get this man here to my above me right here on the call. I'm gonna get him into Dragon Ball.
Hell yeah.
He hasn't seen it. I'm gonna start him off. I'm not gonna take him through Dragon Ball itself, but I am gonna start him off at Z and go through Super. And
So
if there's time, possibly GT as well.
So to do things correctly, you gotta at least watch a brief summary on Dragon Ball. I think you can go to YouTube and just do like the quick view of it, because at least then you know where Dragon Ball Z is coming from.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do for him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show him a brief summary of Dragon Ball, then take him straight into Z, Super, and GT.
You could skip GT, or at least the first season, or
I'm
the
gonna make him
first
suffer
saga.
through. I'm gonna make him. If I can't make him suffer through Dragon Ball, I'm gonna make him suffer through GT at least.
Nice. Yeah, no, you're in for a treat, Blue. It's Dragon Ball is one of the best anime.
Alrighty.
Next to Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop's still my number one. For me, I watched Guns Akimbo. I watched what else did I watch? I finished Loki and Ahsoka, like I said last time. Couldn't rewatch some of it. But I've been watching Scott Pilgrim, the anime, and man, it's really good. Like it's really really good. The fact that they got all the original cast members from the movie to be in it is awesome. But the animation style is really good. The fight scenes in it are amazing, and the storyline where they're taking it is so. If you guys didn't like the movie, I'd recommend watching the anime because the anime is actually really freaking good. Like it's really good, and it's got a lot of like I don't know if you guys played the Tony Hawk games, the original ones, but it's got a lot of music from the Hawk series. And then it's got a lot of good '90s music. Period, early 2000s, '90s. A really good show. I highly recommend it, especially few years. Definitely give it a watch. So that's pretty much it for what we've been watching. Moving on to the WWE roundup. Um, he's going to give grades on Monday, Friday, but then we're gonna get into bigger details on the pay per view. I actually did watch it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was outstanding. Hit or miss in the middle area, but beginning and ending were probably the highlights of the show, and the extra ending. But no spoilers until we get there. So Z, take it away.
Right, so for Monday Night Raw, I gave it a B plus. It was a solid show for once, leading up to Survivor Series. Really fantastic what Triple H is doing. SmackDown, as usual, gave it an A minus. It was really good. Some low parts, some high parts, but that's expected. Yeah, jumping straight into Survivor Series. Match one was the Women's War Game match featuring Team Bianca is Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair taking on Damage Control. For those of you who don't know who's in there, you got Bailey, Io Sky, Asuka now, and Kairi Sane.
Bailey Big Booty.
Yep. Let's see. In my notes I put this was the first time ever they did a challenge for the fans to see who gets the advantage. You put in your vote through ruffles.com/WWE or www.com/ruffles.
Yeah.
It was revealed.
Can
Blue
I
behind you.
can I tell
Sorry.
you how annoying the ruffle stuff was? It was really
It
annoying.
was.
It was like I understand product placement, but it's oh my gosh, it was so annoying. It was ruffles this, ruffles that, and then they had the little backstage thing with the all those guys, and they were doing the ruffle shuffle, and R-Truth came out, and I was like, Jesus Christ, just move on, please. But anyways, sorry.
Yeah, so the voting, they announced that Bianca's team would go in with the advantage. So to start off the match, you had Becky Lynch and Bailey. So let's talk about the fighting now, with Bailey and Becky starting out. A lot of history between these two women. One of both of them are two out of the four horsemen of the women's division. You know,
Becky
who's gonna
Lynch
be?
still probably the best female wrestler in WWE.
Oh yeah, hands down. So it seems as though Bailey going in first wasn't originally planned out. So it looks like Bailey might be turning her back on Damage Control, or they might turn their back on her. I don't know. Seems so. Shotzi would enter the match to the advantage. And after that, it would pretty much just go normal, After 3 minutes, each team member would come out to the playing field until all 5 members are in. This match had some brutal spots and some surprises. The most brutal one I would have to say is Io Sky putting the trash can over herself and jumping from the top of that 15-foot cage, landing on everyone.
I have to say too, the most annoying person in this match was Bianca Belair. I don't like her. I mean, she's not a very good wrestler to begin with. Her whole braid thing is obnoxious. And I really think out of all the talent they had in the ring, she was probably talented.
Yeah, honestly, I'm with you on that one right now. they've overused Bianca.
Yeah, I would I would rather have I would love for them to bring back what the heck's her name? Sasha Banks, and then get rid of Bianca.
Yeah, and like fans are starting to not get behind Bianca simply because of the fact that when Io Sky won a women's championship, it was only because Bianca had just won it and was injured. Because they didn't want Io Sky pinning Charlotte or whoever else was in that bout. They wanted to protect those people over
Oh no.
Bianca. So, they gave Bianca the title only for her to lose it seconds later. And, you know, that's where Bianca started to fall off for the fans.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, like I said, the Riot Control, literally every one of the Riot Control members is outstanding, like phenomenal.
Damage control.
What is it?
Damage control. It's
Damage
not
Control?
Riot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking of the Riot. Wasn't there a Riot
Riot
Squad?
Squad.
Yeah. Yeah. Damage Control. All the wrestlers there are fantastic. Bailey being probably the best one next to uh
Asuka.
Asuka, and then Kyrie. I really liked her.
Yeah, and I was expecting them to win. Honestly, I was expecting the heels to. For those of you that don't know the terms in wrestling, the heels are supposed to be the bad guys, while a face is more of the good guy. So go more into this. I was fully expecting Damage Control to win the match. Unfortunately, my prediction on that was wrong. Uh, Surprisingly though, like I said, I expected Shotzi of Team Bianca to get pinned, but I was honestly surprised that Bailey took the pin and that Team Bianca and Bianca's team won. I was expecting that. You're muted.
Yeah, to me, I wasn't expecting it either. I was more rooting for the heels because I really like Damage Control. And this was my first time seeing them, to be honest. But I just, yeah, I don't know. The whole Bianca Belair thing, just I don't know. I can't get behind her, and it's almost too obvious that Becky and Charlotte Flair and them were gonna win. So yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to the second match, we have the Intercontinental title match.
Oh, did you grade the match?
Miz and Gunther. Oh yeah, that match. Match one. Sorry, my bad. Grade A+.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's see. So the next match is the Intercontinental title match. We had Miz versus the reigning.
You put up, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm still
Okay.
doing it for the podcast. He didn't pause it, so. Let's see. The reigning Intercontinental Champion Gunther, who holds the record for the longest IC title reign. This match, Miz is usually a heel in these scenarios, but this time he went in as a face, kinda more like I guess you could say more like an anti-hero of sorts.
He reminded me of the Miz from back in the day, the Miz that I liked. He was absolutely phenomenal in this match. Like it's kind of got me kind of itching for Miz resurgence, maybe. It was like because I mean, tactically, Miz is one of the best in ring guys there. Like he's really come a long way from being the little turd that I remember seeing live, who would just be in the crowds and to hype you up. He literally started as a hype man, and yeah, I remember how annoying he was back in the day. To seeing him now, where he's actually like he literally could be the face of the company, if not one of them.
Yeah, if they would give him the proper push he needs. I really wanted Miz to win this match. I didn't care how he won, as long as he won. Hoping for either a DQ win. Like I didn't care if he got the title or not. Honestly, I just wanted him to have this win. And having him still end up losing, even though turnbuckle was used and he hit a low blow, classic Miz moves. I mean, like his mentor was Ric Flair, as everyone knows. He's the dirtiest player in the game. So of course, his protege Miz is gonna use some of his old tricks from his day. But Gunther won the match still.
Yeah, that guy sucks. He's lame. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, he's not fun
He's like
having the
he,
IC
re-
title.
he reminds me of Vladimir Kozlov, and that guy was literally just there to be muscle. And I'm just like, this guy sucks.
Yeah. This match I still gave it an A plus just because of the sheer fact that
The Miz held
the
the match
way,
together. Yeah.
yeah, the Miz pretty much held it all together. If it was just a quick squash match, this match would have probably been rated lower than this.
Yeah.
Next match was a match that I originally thought was gonna be a Carlito match, but we got Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. Dragon
Oh
Lee
my
coming in
gosh.
as a replacement for both Rey Mysterio and Carlito.
This match was the worst match of the night. I'm sorry. Like, I have nothing good to say about this match. So I'll let you take over. For me, if I was gonna grade this match, it's an F.
Dang, dude.
I personally gave it an A minus due to the fact that Dragon Lee really showed why he can hang with the best of them, and why he was, like Rey Mysterio said, he's the future of Lucha Libre for a
And
reason.
see, and that's where it gets me, because, like, I'm I'm Hispanic myself, but I cannot stand lucha libre. It's boring. I hate the mask. I don't know. And these guys, they're just not as flashy as like somebody like Rey Mysterio when he was younger, or somebody like Ultimo Warrior, or some Ultimo Warrior, and a couple of other of the old luchador guys. These guys were like acrobatic. They did stuff that you couldn't like physically see yourself doing. They twisted their bodies in dangerous ways. They did crazy stuff. These guys were boring.
Does
You
although
cut out,
it's
Zio.
more. I did.
Yeah.
No. What I was saying is, Dragon Lee, yeah, he has some of that flair when it comes to like the old, like kind of keep the old school lucha libre alive, but he puts more of a modern twist on it, which works for him. But Santos Escobar is one of the ones that I can agree with you on that. That he shouldn't really be a part of the lucha libre scene. He just doesn't have what it takes. He's more of a modern WWE wrestler, where it's just more focused on the fighting part and not the high flying part.
Yeah.
So that's why I gave that one an A minus myself, because it was entertaining to see Dragon Lee fly around the ring. That's what really kept me going. But yeah, no, I would actually probably agree with you and give it like maybe a D or a C minus at most.
I would say C. That I know I'm being too harsh and giving it an F, but yeah, C, definitely. It,
Alright,
it honestly felt like a filler match.
yeah. Next we got the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark.
Yeah, this another one was another snooze fest for me. This is another. If I was going to give it a rank and being harsh on it, I'd give it an F. But logically, it's probably a C.
I've always said this. I've said this multiple times myself. I just don't see Rhea dropping the title to Royal Rumble or WrestleMania.
And you know what?
Who's gonna hold it?
And it's not Rhea, because Rhea Ripley is another one of the greatest females that they have right now, and she is very talented. Like I will straight up support Rhea Ripley. It's the chick that she was doing it with. She just held the match down. She was so boring.
Yeah, Zoe Stark. She's not.
Yeah, she was.
She's not ready for
She
that
was
scene
not a
yet.
good enough. She was not a good opponent at all. It's like without
Yeah,
Rhea,
no.
that match would have been awful.
Yeah, I still gave it a good grade. I gave it an A plus because it's a Rhea Ripley match. That could be bias on my end because I fucking love Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So moving on, we got the last match of the night, the men's War Game match. We got Team Cody featuring Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, and Jey Uso taking on Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, J.D. McDonough, and Drew McIntyre. Judgment Day had the advantage, and Seth Rollins and Finn Balor were the ones who started off. So, Notice, there is a 5th member for Team Cody, but I haven't said it yet. Because he comes in. Let's talk about going up into. What do you think of that match in the very beginning?
The very beginning of the match was phenomenal. I mean, really, they picked the 2 best guys to go in at first. And that. Oh God, did I just forget? I did. Refresh me. Who was it?
Seth Rollins and Finn Balor were
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
start off.
yeah. Finn obviously phenomenal. He's always to me always been mistreated by WWE, especially after his injury back in the day when he had to relinquish his title due to a real life injury. But yeah, those 2 starting off was really great.
Yep. Next person to enter the cage was J.D. McDonough.
Don't
To the
like him.
advantage they gun. Yeah. No one does.
Yeah,
But
he's not.
I've seen a meme go around of like the dynamic of Judgment Day, and it says that Rhea Ripley's mommy, Damien is Poppy, Finn Balor is Poppy's favorite, Dominic is mommy's favorite, like youngest, oldest sort of deal, and then JD's just the middle child.
Yeah,
No one knows who he is, and no one cares about him.
he's the Spike Dudley of the group.
Real quick, this is a quick off-topic thing for just a second. Blue, could I have the purple longsword? I only have blue weapons.
I only have gray.
That's the randomness you get at the channel, guys. You gotta love it.
Yeah, sorry, we're playing
No,
a
you're
thing in the
good. Yeah,
background.
good. That's what we do here. We're a garbage truck on fire, like some other channels. I don't know my serious kind of talk. Yeah, no, I don't like him. That guy's pretty boring. So he's But like I said, the Spike Dudley of the.
Yeah, and then, afterwards we started getting new members from the team coming in. Things were looking grim towards the end of the match. The last member from Team Cody was supposed to come out. Seth Rollins had just been put through a table, and no one came out. Then Rhea Ripley's music hits, and she comes out with Damien's Money in the Bank briefcase, looking like ready to cash it in.
Oh man, yeah, I was kind of hoping for that. I was like, dude, do it.
I was like, nah, there's no way. They're just setting up for him to come back. And then, lo and behold, the Apex Predator returned last minute just to even up the playing field. Randy Orton, after missing more than a year of action since May of 2022,
and
not
an inch of ring rust on him at all. He
oh
literally
my! And did
came
you
out,
see how he looked?
He looks jacked AF number 1. He just looked phenomenal in the ring. He didn't miss a step. Super aggressive, which is where you like him. Would have liked to have seen the punt. Didn't get it. Did get the RKO. Did get the ring drop DDT. So that was. Oh, but the best part of the match was when they all did the ring drop DDT. Oh man, that was so awesome.
that was my favorite, and then my next favorite was when everyone else been taken out, and JD McDonough's the last man standing. I was like, oh, poor JD.
Yeah.
He's regretting his decision.
Actually,
he tried to climb out.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Go ahead. You got it. No, go ahead.
He tried to escape from the cage, but the rules state if you leave the cage, your team forfeits. So I was like, nah, they're just setting up a spot. But what's the spot gonna be? Are they just gonna toss him off the cage? And then it cuts to Randy standing there. I'm like, oh no, oh, this poor man, he's about to die.
That was
Sure enough, they throw him off the cage, and Randy catches him with the RKO from 15 feet in the air.
Yeah, that was the best moment of that match. Oh god, that was so fun. And then ending it with Cody Rhodes doing the what's his move called?
Crossroads.
The Crossroads, and then ending the match. I believe he pinned did he pin Balor, or was it McDermott?
Priest. He pinned Priest.
Oh, Priest, yeah. Damian Priest is another one that I really don't care for. He's talented, but he's not a big guy.
Yeah, that's why he's holding on to the case for now.
Yeah.
He's not going to cash it into a crucial moment just to try to make him get over with the fans.
Yeah.
I'm thinking either at Royal Rumble, perhaps, or Elimination Chamber, or WrestleMania.
I'm thinking it's going to be WrestleMania, personally. But we'll get into that in a minute. And then capping the night off, and I'm gonna have a video spot for it right here. But capping the night off is
CM Punk, Bill Brooks. He is finally back. No one saw this coming. No one in the locker room saw it coming. This was according to Triple H himself during the press conference, him and Nick Khan were the only two people that knew CM Punk's return. They kept it that tightly knit because they didn't want to spoil it, and because some people do have real life beef with him and rest in the WWE world. Seth Rollins being one of them.
yeah.
Seth was not happy. According to some fan footage, it could be seen that both Rhea Ripley and Seth Rollins were flipping off CM Punk and making Rhea was making fun of him, but Seth was really heated. He had to be held back by everyone, by security, refs, and commentators, just so he wouldn't go after Punk. And it was actually revealed even more so after that when Rollins went backstage. He was actually looking for Punk, and Triple H told him to take a walk.
Now, we do have to remember that this is WWE, and yeah, these two guys do have real life beef with each other, but I'm like 99% sure that whole thing at the end was they call it kayfabe. So I'm pretty sure they're getting ready to do the road of a CM Punk Seth Rollins title match.
I sure hope not, honestly. I really want him to go after Roman's
I
big
want
title.
CM Punk to go after Roman Reigns too, and I hope that's where they go. I don't want CM Punk on Raw because Raw's no longer the A show; it's SmackDown, clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want. Now we're gonna get into it. Now, go ahead and grade that match, and then we'll move on to where I go to.
So the men's war game match, I gave it an S plus.
Yeah, I'd
Highest
have to
ranking
agree.
I've ever given a match on
Best
wrestling
match
so
of the
far.
night, clearly phenomenal. And shout out to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn freaking killed it in that match. That dude is awesome. And the Uso.
Yeah, and Jey Uso too. Yeah. And I want to go more in on that CM Punk Seth Rollins real quick.
Yeah. So I have a feeling. Now this is just me, but now that CM Punk is back in the WWE, I think we literally just seen the Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah.
I think CM Punk wins the Rumble this year.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, because what it came out later by PW Insider actually reported that after Survivor Series, after everyone was leaving, Seth Rollins did storm back into the back, looking for Punk. Triple H told him to take a walk, and it said that CM Punk was actually visibly confused about it. Like he didn't know what was actually going on. Like with that, so it could be kayfabe, it could be legit beef that Punk just actually had no idea he had with Seth, that he probably forgot. He came out with a white T-shirt, and according to people, that if a wrestler that hasn't been in the company for a while walks out with a white shirt, it's a clean slate. No hard it shows that there's no hard feelings between the wrestler or anyone. In the back, so I'm hoping. Yeah, he even took a picture with Triple H. Even took a selfie with CM Punk, and posted it. Another wrestler that stormed out after the closing match, after War Games. Drew McIntyre was visibly upset before CM Punk made his entrance. It was reported that Drew McIntyre went to the back, went into his locker room, slammed his locker, and threw on a hoodie and left. Didn't say anything, and it left people confused, wondering like what his issue was. Like what he was visibly pissed off.
I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off in that locker room now, just because CM Punk is back, and he's going to take a lot of light from a lot of those guys who were kind of hoping that they were going to get a big shot, but now that the man is here, and now that he's back, I'm literally interested in WWE again. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what you guys say. Now, we do have to mention that CM Punk was fired from AEW for some actions that he did backstage, fighting with people. He's notorious for being the bad guy. Backstage, he's not friendly to get along with. The rumor is, and He's very confrontational. So we'll see how this works out with WWE, considering that him and Triple H did have real life beef also. Um, so
Seems as though they squashed it though.
yeah, well, Triple H is a businessman now, so we'll see.
Yeah, and that's the one thing too. I predicted CM Punk's return. Like I was psychic on that. So I was like, once he was fired from AEW, I was like, there's no way WWE doesn't sign him.
Well, we had been
If
saying
they
it for a
wanna
whole month. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, if they want to screw over AEW, they need to sign another one of their guys, and it has to be a big talent. They signed Cody Rhodes. When they signed Cody Rhodes, AEW viewership dropped significantly. Their
Yeah.
ratings went down quick when Cody showed up on WWE television.
Like I said, I think we've seen the Royal Rumble winner at this point. I think that they tease a Seth Rollins CM Punk bout. I think maybe they even have a fight, but I think ultimately the CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble and chooses Roman Reigns to end this streak, and I think he wins at WrestleMania. In giving Reigns his long-awaited vacation that he wants, because it's rumored that Reigns wants to step away from the WWE for a while, and so CM Punk being the one to do it. Hey, I think Punk has the second longest WWE title reign. Am I correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, that's it. So overall, you would grade the Survivor Series. For me personally, I gave it an A+.
I gave it an S+. Just because of the men's game, the women's game. It was mainly because of the women's match, men's match, Randy Orton returning, and CM Punk having a big pop. For me, I go off of how my rating works is I don't go based off of my own opinion. I go based how the crowd works.
Right.
How much they cheered in the night, how many times they booed. Then I go based off each match. That's how my grading system works. So when CM Punk and Randy Orton both came out, those pops were loud. I knew right away that this was an amazing Survivor Series.
Right.
No matter.
All right. Well, yeah. So there it is, guys. I know we did a little bit longer on the WWE thing than we usually do, but it was worth it because it was a great event. Moving on now to the main topic, which is the movie Guns Akimbo, starring Daniel Radcliffe, directed by Jason Lee Howden. Ouch, cat. Produced by Felipe Marino, Joe Maurier, and Tom Hearn. Starring obviously Daniel Radcliffe, Samantha Weaving, Ned Dennehy, Natasha Bordizzo, Grant Bowler, Edwin Wright, Reese Darby, Milo Cawthorn, Richard Knowles, and then Mark Rowley. Release date was September 9th, 2019. Runs about 95 minutes. Had a budget of, doesn't say the budget, but it only made $847,000 box office. So I'd imagine budget maybe not so big. So who knows?
I don't know.
Hopefully
Because it has Daniel Radcliffe in it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they lost money on this one. Yeah. Actually, yeah, the budget was 12 mil. They lost a lot of money. Yeah.
Wow.
They lost a
11
lot of money.
Oh my gosh, 11.2 in loss.
Jeez.
That
hurts.
Yeah. Wow.
So we'll do things like we always do. We read from Wikipedia from the plot line, and then we skip, or we pause, and then we talk about certain things. So yeah, let's get started because running kind of far here.
I do want to say, by the way, I did not get a chance to watch the movie, but I do know a couple snippets from it.
Okay. All right. No. I mean, well, we'll get into it in a little bit. So we'll go as such. In an alternate near future, an underground fight club and criminal organization known as Schism has achieved massive popularity by live streaming real death matches. I honestly feel like we're headed that way too. Anybody else?
I could see that, yeah.
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 So, anyways, we'll stop right there because that's the very beginning. So, yeah. So it's introduced that it's basically this movie has a lot of references to other movies, in my opinion. That there's Death Race, there's Fight Club, and then there was that movie Gamer. And I feel like it was the person that made this movie seen all three of those and was like, I want to do that in one big giant freaking massive movie. So, um, what did you guys think about the beginning when they were announcing Schism and all that stuff? And then the introduction to Daniel Radcliffe's character. We'll start with you, Blue, since you chose this movie.
So I just thought it was kind of funny. It was one of those movies that you have to kind of not be there when you're watching it. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
think
I
we all
mean?
got the
Like,
grip on that one.
but I thought it was kind of funny. It was a Daniel Radcliffe movie. I just thought, oh, it was kind of interesting. His mom and his mom's boyfriend actually really liked the movie. So they're really interested. It was a hit or a miss. I've watched it so much, I've kind of seen it a lot, but it was interesting the first time I watched it.
Yeah. Sorry, I had
Yeah.
to do something. I could hear you, but yeah. Um, let's see. Salem, do you want to jump in on here? Or are you?
I mean, honestly, like with the movie, it seems like something that I'd be very intrigued in. Like as I said, I've seen clips, and I've especially like the main one I've seen. I think everybody knows this one. Blue, I'm getting attacked. But the good old Daniel Radcliffe in a bathrobe shaking two Glocks out the camera.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That
Yeah.
was something. Um, Steve, what do you think about the intro to the movie?
It was something, yeah. It really caught my attention. Uh, Not a lot of movies could do that nowadays, and even though they did take this movie did take an L on itself according to the profit margin.
Yeah,
I like the opening. It really, you know, to be fair, I was a little out of it as well.
he had some
In two
extracurricular
ways.
help.
In multiple ways on that one.
Study aid. Let's
So,
just call it that.
so, so for me, the beginning of the movie was the hardest for me to watch. It literally, and I'm not discouraging people to watch it at all because we'll get into it later. But the movie, if the opening catches you, that's good. For me, it didn't, but I stuck with it because I respect Blue and I wanted to make sure that I thoroughly watched something that he and as everybody here should. Like if we pick a movie, even if it sucks, we should just muscle through it. But out of respect for Blue, I was like, no, Blue's my boy. I'm gonna freaking suffer through. But it didn't catch me until probably 18 minutes into it. Then finally, I understood. Okay, I get this movie. I see why everybody likes it. Um, but yeah, those first 15 to 18 minutes for me were just brutal. I was just like, why would Daniel Radcliffe, Harry freaking Potter, sign
Very
up to
freaking
do
fun.
this freaking movie? I'm like, it just didn't make any sense to me. But then later on, it kind of did. Um, but um, uh, there we go. Ordinary computer programmer Miles Lee Harris logs into Schism's forum to insult viewers who turned murder into entertainment. Richter, the criminal kingpin who runs Schism, breaks into Miles' apartment with his henchmen, Dane, Elfin, and Fuckface. After being beaten and drugged, Miles wakes up to find guns bloody, or God, Wikipedia people, you guys gotta edit this when you're look. You gotta look because some of you just put throwing stuff together and it don't make any sense. Miles wakes up to find his hands bloody. That's my edit, and has two massive guns bolted to his hands. Miles learns that he has been forced to participate in Schism after being pitted against Nix, the gamer's deadliest killer. Nix wants out of the game, but Richter requires she kill Miles. So here we go. So this is where it's finally into the movie now, and this is where it starts catching my eyes, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty freaking awesome. The whole drug scene, and so first of all, let's go into it because this all started because he made random comments on a chat board. Now we've all been in Facebook and YouTube and all those other comments where we said some dumb stuff, and or someone has said. I mean, we've had comments on our thing where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the Jay and Silent Bob. I'm gonna find these guys, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Clearly, obviously, we didn't do that, but this is where the film started, where he basically went on there and said some dickhead things, understandably, because you got to remember this whole thing is just like I said, we're probably headed that way in ourselves in real life here in the U.S. But real life gladiator games. But yeah, so he go on there and he spoke his mind, and yeah, they did the Jay and Silent Bob thing and came and found him. So Blue, at this point when he's doing his thing on the computer, what did you think about all this leading up to the apartment scene?
The apartment scene, I thought it was just kind of bogus.
Yeah, it
Like,
was pretty hilarious too. Some of it.
I would think they'd at least give him a chance to talk it out.
um. Yeah. It was just like it was all happening so fast, which is the way I kind of like a movie to go. But some of the phrases and stuff that like came out of his mouth were just hilarious. He was like, "Oh, Harry Potter's not just a wizard."
Yeah.
But D, what did you think about the whole apartment scene?
He's also the devil.
Apartment scene. Yeah. So when he woke up with his hands tied, Luke pretty much bolted onto him. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Plus he got, and then he tried to piss. I was like, ooh, damn, I feel for you, buddy. That's worse than having to do it as men would know, would. Uh, trying to get us too demonetized.
I think we're okay.
But yeah, and the poor guy, I felt sorry for him. I was like, damn, yeah. It shows that if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person online, you're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. Salem, you want to add anything, or you?
1 second. Honestly, I honestly that sounds real mess. Like the fact they were bolted to his hands. I didn't know that part
Yeah,
of it.
they're literally
Like,
bolted.
oof. Oh,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
he's got the
no.
bolt right. It looks like they crucified him. He's got the bolt right here, and the guns are locked in right here. And yeah, it was a whole thing.
They bolted even his some of his knuckles had a bolt.
Yeah,
They were bolted too that way,
was.
so the only thing he could do was pull the trigger.
Mhm. Yeah, it's pretty grody that part. And I liked when he woke up and Nix was in the apartment and he's like, these are all puffy and red. I'm pretty sure I need some antiseptic. And it's like, what? So I'm gonna read the rest of the plot summary and then we'll just go over the movie as a whole from at that point. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Nix tracks Miles' phone. He tries to reason with Nix but fails. Miles distracts her and she shoots up his apartment as he falls down the fire escape. After unsuccessfully attempting to recruit help from the police, Miles makes it to the park to meet his artist ex-girlfriend Nova Alexander. She tells Miles that she doesn't want to get back together. When Miles reveals what is happening to him, Nova flees in fright. Nova reports the situation to Detective DeGraves. DeGraves and his partner, Stanton, hack Nova's phone so they can track Miles. Miles gets temporary help from the vagrant named uh, Glenn Glenjammy or Glenjamin. Miles then goes to the office where he works so his friend Handley can hack the schism tracking malware on his phone. Miles finally gets assertive by angrily pulling his guns after his continually condescending boss Sander insults him. Sander is shot in the head by Nix, who what?
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
You're all good.
Following a face-off where he again fails to reason with Nix, Miles calls Nova and sees Victor kidnapping her. Miles phones the police and leaves his phone in the junkyard.
One of them have the
His junkyard to provide the location. He then inadvertently interrupts a drug deal between two rival gangs. Nick shows up and starts gunning down thugs. That was freaking awesome. While trying to get to Miles, Miles accidentally makes his first kill, a gang lord who hunted him down. The police arrive and arrest Miles while transporting him. DeGraves and Stanton explain that their plan to use Miles as bait to lure Nix, who they have been trying to capture for years. DeGraves reveals that Nix is his daughter. Nix was driven criminally insane after Richter took revenge on DeGraves for taking down Richter's gang by blowing up his family's van. DeGraves had managed to save Nix, but his wife and son had died. Stanton shoots DeGraves in the head, revealing that he is a mole working with Richter. Stanton plays a video message in which Richter explains that Miles has 30 minutes to kill Nix or else he will kill Nova. Miles recovers his phone from DeGraves' body while a gaming cafe patron into hacking Nova's phone to retrieve her location. Miles learns the Schism communities dubbed him Guns Akimbo, as he has become the most popular player ever. Miles arrives at Nova's supposed location to find Richter waiting. Richter haunts Miles by dumping Hadley's dead body before driving away. Oh. Miles manages to secretly meet with Nix and tells her that Richter murdered her father and kidnapped his ex-girlfriend. In her rage and desire for revenge, Nix agrees to a plan where they successfully stage a scene of Schism's broadcast camera drones. He seemingly guns down Miles, who is actually wearing a bulletproof vest. Then he removed. God, you guys can't write. That he removed from the graves, which is what it should say, Miles' body and transport him to Richter's Schism hideout. Nix joins Miles as they take down Richter's henchmen, including Dane and Effie. A badly injured Nix sacrifices himself by detonating a suicide vest that blows up Buckface and the rest of Richter's men so Miles can survive. Richter executes Stanton while making his way to the rooftop with At the rooftop, Richter keeps shooting Miles, but the latter determinedly changes Richter and ultimately throws him off of the roof to his death. Not before Richter tells Miles that Schism has spread worldwide and is becoming a global franchise. After Richter dies, Miles starts to collapse from a massive blood loss while imagining a romantic reunion with Nova. However, Nova actually becomes frightened and goes into shock after seeing what Miles is turning into. Sometime later, Miles is scarred from his injuries, and while sitting in his car, he opens a file. He discovers a comic book written by Nova and learns that she is promoting Miles, the popular hero, by writing a comic book based on their story. With Schism spreading worldwide under new leaderships, Miles commits himself to do everything in his power to destroy the entire criminal organization, and thus ends the movie. That was a long read. But yeah. So overall, like the movie started out rough for me, but ultimately just got better and better and better and better as it progressed. And it was just ridiculous in some spots. But overall, Blue, what did you think about the movie, and why did you choose to watch it? Like what dragged you to it?
I think it's because it had some similar things to the other movies that we watched. It had a few video game references.
Yeah.
I think if we were to watch a good movie from him, I would choose Horns because I like his Horns movies.
The Horns movie is definitely a great movie. That's definitely worth a watch. Um,
I
Yeah,
haven't seen that one.
it's really, really good. It's surprisingly because it sounds goofy, but it's really deep. It's
yeah.
kind of drama, kind of horror, leaning more into the horror side of things. Definitely a good movie. Um, Z, what did you think about the movie overall?
It was so funny. To me, it was a funny. You know, Daniel Radcliffe. I still say he should be Wolverine.
This movie just showed how good of an actor he really is. When you can go from something, um, and I know we keep referencing it, but something like Harry Potter and an Oscar award-winning movie and nominated for all kinds of stuff, go from something like that to going to something goofy, and it's starting bad, but then ultimately finishing strong. Um, it shows like how big of an actor he can be, and then obviously like Blue reference or set movies like Horns that are really also good. And another movie that most people don't talk about, but The Lady in Black was another one of his movies, which was a horror movie, and he was also really good in that. Uh, and it just shows like what he can do, and I really would like to see him in a lot more things. But he's definitely not a Wolverine. Sorry, Z.
Yeah, like you are absolutely right. That's pretty much where I was heading.
But yeah, overall the movie was awesome. Brutal how they bolted the hands to or the guns to his hands. Funny the references they were making in the movie. A lot of it, just like the comedic spots were like golden. Um, and then you really kind of really started feeling for Nyx because you finally saw where she was coming from. And then and it was weird because and the whole time for me, the bad guy, Victor, I kept thinking that was the guy from Shaun of the Dead. I don't know what it was, but he just looked like him at certain angles. And he kind of like had little brief instances where he talked like him, and I was like, that's not him. It can't be. And then yeah, it wasn't him. But I think the guy from Shaun of the Dead would have played that role better than the guy that they had. But then again, when you're making a $12 million movie, make eight, so probably couldn't afford him and Harry Potter.
Damn.
He probably made 3 times that at least on by himself from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I would say that he got paid more than the movie made. So, um, somebody's not making movies. Um, but yeah. So, and then the gunfighting was amazing. And then especially the one scene where he's sitting in the junkyard and he's just like, "I'm not here. I'm a nobody. I'm waiting for somebody else." And then Nick shows up and just starts Gatling gunning like everybody. That was pretty awesome. And then again her sacrifice with the so
Blue, come
Z
here.
Z I would have to your favorite scene in the entire movie. What if you had to name one? What?
It's obviously gonna be the meme. It's obviously gonna be the scene that is the most memed on of Daniel Radcliffe in public with just a robe, shaking his hands with two guns attached.
Yeah, that was funny. The whole robe and slippers thing. Yeah.
You could
um,
have thought that out through her life.
Blue. If you had to say one of your favorite scenes in the movie, what would it be?
Um, I think the favorite scene where he was like, "No, that really didn't happen, but this is what you want to see," or something.
Oh yeah, the ending. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So moving on to you, Salem. If you does everything that I read off and everything that we've talked about is this a movie that you are interested in seeing, or did you get the point of it just by us talking about
I mean, I got the point of it, but I am curious
it?
to watch it, so
It's
that's why I decided to.
definitely worth. Well, we'll get into it right now. So that was pretty much it, guys. So we're gonna get into it now. We're gonna give our individual grades. So everybody knows how we do it. The individual numbers are 1 through 10, no points, just solid numbers. And then the overall grade, we give it the point, whatever it ends up being. So we're gonna start off with the man of the hour, the man who chose the movie, Mr. Blue Sky himself. Blue, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rank this movie and why?
But like a six,
Blue, behind you.
seen so much.
Sorry.
6?
It wasn't like super entertaining.
Yeah. It didn't dud out though. Like it never gave you a moment where you weren't disinterested. It's minus the beginning, but once it really got going, it kind of stayed it there. It was always kind of like, oh, okay. It wasn't for me. It wasn't one of those movies. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But all right. Blue gives it a 6. Z, what do you give it?
I give it a solid 7.
7.
It was interesting for me. To be fair, if I had been
Blue, help.
sober, I probably would have been a lower rating. But the fact that I was on more than one occasion,
Yeah.
yeah, I give it a 7. It was entertaining for me.
Nice. And Salem, because you didn't watch the movie, I'd say we'll get past you on the rank this time. Just to be fair.
I mean, I do
Um,
have an opinion on the rank.
Okay, go ahead.
From what I've heard and the clips I've seen and all that, I personally, as a person
Actually,
that
yeah, go
like
ahead. Go
seeing
ahead.
it from the outside, someone that like from a point of view of I haven't seen it,
Right.
I'd say it's for me on a scale 7 out of 10 for me wanting to watch.
There you go. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay.
So,
So yeah, I apologize for that. That was good.
oh,
So
you're all
yeah.
good.
So yeah. Okay, that makes sense. For me, I'm gonna side with Blue on this one. I'm gonna give it a 6. It was because of the beginning. Had the beginning kept my attention on it, I probably would have enjoyed it more. But the whole middle and end did save it. So for me, I'm gonna give it a 6. Um, the acting in it was outstanding. Well, I mean, outstanding for what it was. Daniel Radcliffe actually the best part of the movie. Without him, I don't think this movie even makes anything at all. Um, and the whole gun action really kind of held me in. And then there was yeah, that was pretty much all of it. But yeah, so um, I'll give it a 6. And 6 isn't bad, middle of the road. It's still worth a watch, but at your discretion. If you can get past the beginning, then I think you're in for a ride. So so we got 6, 6, 7. We got 2 6s and 2 7s.
Pretty
So
much count mine as a 6 though, because I haven't seen it. It's just for
right.
wanting to watch.
So how are we feeling at a 6.5, guys?
I can go with that.
6.5. All right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so that's it, guys. We're giving Guns Akimbo right here at the Fatman Gaming Channel a 6 out of 5. It's not a bad movie. It's just an okay movie. It's worth a watch. So yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. It's included with Prime. So if you have Prime, then you have access to it. I had to search for it because it was like in the immediate. Here's your movies. But it's definitely worth a watch one time to see if you like it. If you're a fan of Daniel Radcliffe, you're in for a ride because it was definitely uncharacteristic for him. But yeah, so 6.5, that's what we gave it. I am the Fat Man here at the Fat Man Gaming. Down below is Salem. To my side is Mr. Blue Sky himself, and then under him is Theo. So as we all do, we will give our outros. Starting with Z, moving on to Salem, then Blue, or then me, then Blue, because Blue goes last. And yeah, so thanks guys for watching episode 10. If you stuck around, do the like, subscribe, share. The sharing really does help. Tell your friends to come on in. I got new people coming all the time. Um, so yeah, we are at 107, guys. We are continuing to grow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So actually, I'll start off first. So as you guys know, we do our little catchphrases. So the Fat Man Army, Stay classy.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Have a good one. I hope you guys have a nice day. Sorry, got caught off guard.
You're good. No, you're
Merry
good.
Christmas.
And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and then we'll catch you guys on the next one. Deuces.